Welcome everybody. Let's welcome life coach Michael Emery.
Before I get going, as you can see from the slide, I'm going to talk about taking control of your future. There's a lot of fear going on right now. There's a lot of change happening. I've heard it said that there is more change happening now than there ever has been. And what resources do you have available to make the changes that you want to have in life? What are the barriers to what you want to experience? Let's talk about some of the emotions. When you think about the need to change something, what does that bring to mind? Is it apprehension, anxiety, or excitement, or?
Well, I think the part of it is the risk of not being successful, and that's why the unknown is scary, is that you don't know if you're going to succeed or screw it up.
Can we call that fear? Fear of the unknown?
Yep.
Okay, great. The standard range of emotions that people go through in their daily lives is bouncing between I'm afraid and I'm bored. And sometimes we can find something goes right, a project gets approved, somebody good looking waves or winks at us while we're at the stoplight, something like that. We get a good meal, and we go over here and we feel happy, satisfied, content, excited, hopeful. But most of the time, we're pivoting between bored and afraid. The Columbia University Medical Center, they did a test, I think it was 2 decades ago, where they were showing groups these flashing images, and they would flash these images on a screen so quickly that the conscious mind wouldn't perceive them. Big insight, this is done in advertising and in movies. But these images would have faces that would have fearful looks on the faces. And the people that were in these group studies were connected to neuroimaging machines. And the results showed that when those faces flickered on the screen at a rate that was so fast that their conscious mind couldn't perceive them, that their unconscious mind triggered an anxiety response that was measured by the neuroimaging machine. Your conscious mind is hundreds of milliseconds behind your unconscious mind. Because what's really playing are thoughts like these. Am I going to eat, or am I going to be eaten? And these are old because, it depends on your belief system, but not too long ago, these guys were running around. And if you weren't paying attention, they were going to get you. And that's a primal fear. It triggers the very core. And I'm sure that if all of you guys check, there's no boogeyman under the bed. Yet, I'm sure that when the lights have been out, and you're someplace that you're not familiar with, you kind of get the creepy, heebie-jeebie feelings. Why? It's old stuff. And what's really happening is you're having a fear response. Yeah, ouch. Here's my definition of fear. You have no choice but to participate. You might have decided with your buddies that running with the bulls was a really cool thing to do, and a bunch of beer made it sound even better, or wine if you're in Spain. But when you're there and you can feel that bull breathing on the back of your neck, you are committed. And when a snake is latched onto your face, that is full participation. It's totally different than this, though. Anxiety. Anxiety is the same physiological fear response. You kick into fight or flight, just like that. But it's about a car crash or some hypothetical situation. Getting laid off. Your significant other telling you that it's over. The difference between anxiety and excitement, same physiological response, different imagery. Different outcome. And I noticed a couple years ago when I would go to social mixers or networking events, and I personally don't like those things, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But everybody tends to go, "Hi, my name is so and so," and then there's this awkward silence, and then one person or the other goes, "So, what do you do?" And then the person that's asked the question, as if they're on autopilot, they kind of launch into this, "Well, I am a marketing guru," or "I am a network engineer," or "I'm something." And they're saying that their identity is their job responsibility. But the reality of it is, even though they're paid to do that, and might spend 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week doing that job, that's not all that they are. Inside your mind, when you think about losing your job, what does that bring to mind? It's going to be a scenario. Yes?
Sure. I can see multiple possibilities in
Okay.
it does range on a continuum from there's the fear of how you provide and and you do the calculations and you do the math, you take your severance package, and you do all the basics and so I need to be prepared. But it also ranges all the way into freedom and release and relief to finally know and then be free to move on, because there's all of that.
Yeah.
And then there's all of that comes back to I can't live beyond that. I'm only in this moment. So then I can come back to this moment and realize that any of those possibilities are there, and until they come forward, I am to be in this moment and the best that I can. So while I go there, I don't stay there because I can't live in what isn't yet there.
Good. What I really enjoyed when I was in grad school was reading and studying countless stories of men and women who, despite insurmountable odds, chose to be at cause in their lives, chose to pursue something that sometimes it even cost them their lives, but it was that important to them. It was that powerful. And these are people that look at life, or they perceive life in a way that they've got a grip on it, and they go, I'm going to get what I want out of it, and it's important, and I deserve it. And there are people that do that in a way that is ecological for the well-being of others and themselves, creating win-win situations. It's really that important. And it's so important that we weave these stories throughout our lives. We love this story. These are multi-million-dollar earning movies. And we can all resonate with one of the protagonists, antagonists, one of the heroes. We resonate with the people and the story that's happening here. We love this theme because when we can see somebody else who is going against all odds and they can be successful, even if it's fictional, it inspires us. A person that can say something like this is a person that an employer wants to hire and wants to keep. This can be anybody. Our world would be a better place if it were full of people that believe that I was born for times like these. It's tough, it's challenging, it's frightening, there's a lot of uncertainty. I was born for it. I can't control my environment. I can't control what other people do. But I can control my physiology. I can control my emotions. I've got tools and resources to reframe fear, anxiety, doubt. Because I think all of us, we reach this point where we've got to go to that core part of us. It's that part that makes all the important decisions in our life. And we go to that part and we say to it, I command that you give me the resources that I need in order to create the outcomes that are important, that are significant. And I take control of my life now.